Welcome to Midlife No Crisis. I'm Lynn. Welcome to week 5 of the year, the beginning of February, to my upstate South Carolina Zone 8A garden. You can see that we're sitting inside. It's been kind of cold and very rainy for a couple of weeks now. And let me show you what we've got going on. Most of what I've got going on right now is inside. I've been doing a little bit of seed starting. We'll get an update on that. And I've got quite a few peppers I've tried to overwinter, so we'll take a look at those and get those watered today as well. I've been watering them once a month, so once in November, once in December, once in January, and I'll water them today to be the beginning of February. I've tried to overwinter quite a few peppers. This one is looking good. This pepper looking good, has looked good all winter. Again, just watering them once a month. These peppers up here seem to still have life. A little bit of dead spaces on this one I need to trim out. Eggplant not looking so good, but does have some signs of life. More peppers back here that I'm unsure of. That's a Stevia in the corner. More peppers here that may or may not survive. They both seem to have some green on them. Hear the choo-choo train outside. Pepper down here appears to still have a green stem. Oh, what have I got down here in the back? Again, more peppers, more peppers. The ones you see laying in the bottoms of the pots, at the time that I brought these in November, they were still on the actual plant. There's my lemongrass over there. It seems to have life left in it. I've tried to overwinter a little bit of that this year. More peppers, more peppers. But then I eventually pulled all the remaining peppers off the stems. More over here, eggplants and peppers. Eggplants and peppers, lemongrass. I have one house plant sitting here in the middle to try to remind me to water these, but I think it's better to underwater than to overwater. I got my little grow set up here. I do have 4 more. Ooh, I forgot to water these too just now. I'm gonna water these before I go back upstairs. And then we'll see this summer what really survived, you know. I believe this is my oldest tray down here. Is about 2.5 weeks old, seedlings. This one's 2 weeks old. This one I believe is about a week old. And this one in here I just did yesterday. Still got the humidity dome on. Some potatoes here I've been chitting, and I've already cut these red potatoes. You can see they have sprouts. And they have healed over. They are definitely ready to go in the ground. These yellow potatoes I got organic just a couple of days ago, and they sprout really quickly. You can see they're coming right along. I'll let them get better sprouts before I plant them out. I thought I had made a mistake on my regular Idaho potatoes. I bought these big ones, and I've never done that before, and I thought that probably wasn't smart. But y'all, look, they're sprouting. They seem to be doing okay. So I'm gonna let those sprout on out, get those planted. Got some onions started in here, waiting on those to come up. I had a great time today and visited some international styled grocery stores. I got these little goodies from the Indian grocery store. Let's see, this is an Indian sweet potato. This is turmeric from the Indian store, and this is ginger. Also went to the Middle Eastern grocery store and found some more ginger. And I went to the Asian grocery store and found some sweet potatoes. These are white on the outside and supposedly purple on the inside. And these are purple on the outside and white on the inside. So I'll be looking for some containers to work on germinating these, or sorry, sprouting them, and go from there. I've got them prepped and ready. These are the sweet potatoes from the Asian grocery store, and I dampened the soil. I think I'm going to flop the lid over but not seal it. I don't want them to rot or mold, but I do want to make sure that they stay good and moist, at least until they come up to heat. I'm going to put them on a heat mat. Let's see, this is from the Indian grocery store. That's a sweet potato. And then the same treatment in dirt, moistened it. I am going to close I'm going to flop the container lid over. I'm not going to seal it so it leaves a little vent, so to speak. Again, I'm hoping to avoid any mold or rot or anything like that. And if I see anything like that happen, I'll just cut the lid off completely and let it stay open topped. As for the ginger and the turmeric, they need to soak 24 hours before they get a similar treatment into the dirt. And here's the ginger from the Middle Eastern store. It's got a glare on it, doesn't it? All right, so there's the ginger soaking 24 hours, and tomorrow I will put these ginger and turmeric into moist soil as well. And there they are, snuggled in for the night on the heat mat with the lights on. Check in tomorrow. Here are my roots that I'm trying to get started. Turmeric and ginger. Some more ginger back here. Some sweet potatoes in here in the dirt. And some Asian sweet potatoes here. So that's what I have going. We'll take each tray out separately and have a closer look at how they're really doing. Okay, after 5 days under the humidity dome with heat and lights, I've selected these to come out from under the humidity dome because they have sprouted and are large enough size. They say that you should take out your seedlings once they sprout to avoid like mold and damping off, I think is the term that they use, so the tops don't start rotting, etc., while you wait on the other things to actually germinate. Bok choy, that was a winner from the beginning. Remember, it popped up after only 48 hours. The rest of these probably I didn't see popped up till day 4. Today is day 5, but bok choy looking great. Broccolis, remember I did cells of different varieties, but I like doing a 6-pack of a certain plant. The only thing I don't have here looks like spring rapini. Has not germinated yet, so I don't know if it's just going to take more time, if it didn't like the heat, if it didn't like the light, or if I had bad seed. So we'll give that some more time and see how it goes. Cabbage, looks like I've got a little bit of red cabbage there, a little bit of early golden cabbage there, golden acre, and a little bit of Napa cabbage. So again, there's my 6-pack of cabbages. Collards, another 6-pack. Looks like I've got some in sets of 2 for each variety that I happen to have seeds. Up here are my lettuces. So it looks like I've got single cells. What's this red one here that's not, I don't see, no, I do see a little tiny one in there. Okay, so all 6 cells have a little sign of life. Mustard, looks like both cells there, both cells there. One cell here, what's the one on the top? What does that say? I can't read it. Southern Giant Curled. Don't see any of that yet. So again, give it a little more time. Turnip is the other 48 hours it was germinated type of winner. So looks like I've got some in every double cell. See, like this double cell, one of them doesn't have anything in it, but the other one has 2. Likewise in the middle, one doesn't have anything in it, the other one has 2, but both cells have something in here. So I'm pleased with that. So day 5, these are the ones that are coming out from under the humidity dome. They do look pretty dry, so I'm going to bottom water just to give them a drink. Excuse me while I reach. And bottom water, I just put water. I wish I had rainwater, but all I got is tap water, so I'll make do with that. Put about, I don't know, 1/2 inch into the bottom. Probably give it a couple of hours while I look at everything else down here and see what's going on. And then if there's water remaining in the tray, I will take it out of the water because, again, don't want them too wet either. Alrighty. Okay, this was my tray that I had decided yesterday to leave the dome on. Today, I think everything is going to graduate except for one. Here we are with spinach, and I think enough of that has germinated. I'm a little concerned that it's laying over. I'm thinking it might be a little too wet. I am going to take that and graduate it up to the tray that has no dome. Beets, clearly something pushed them over the edge between yesterday and today, and they are also germinated enough to remove the dome. But these little Brussels sprouts, I don't see anything yet. Maybe a hint of something starting to come up, but I'm going to leave those under the dome. But I think they're going to be by themselves because look at all the kales. They seem to be germinating. There is one in the blue section, not a lot. And even the dills, I don't know if you can tell because they're so wispy. Do you see them? They're very thin, but I have germination in each cell. So I do think I'm going to pull everything except those Brussels sprouts and add them to the tray that has no humidity zone on it. And we again are on day 6 for these guys. Okay, let's see where we stand. This tray is basically 6 days old. I just removed the rest, all except one. You see I've got a little hole right here of the 6-packs have graduated to removing the dome. I thought I'd show you what I do when there's water left in the bottom. I take my little bulb squeezer and suck it up pretty quickly and squirt it either on something that's dry or into a watering can so that I can get the extra water out. Especially the ones that I put in today, they seem to be pretty wet coming out from under that dome, and I was a little concerned. Look at the spinach, even how it's laying over. So I'm hoping they're not too wet and that they will recover. But 6 days from seed to this is pretty incredible. I believe this tray we said, let me look at the date here. This tray is still only 2 days old, so it's still steamed up. We looked today that there were some cells that were germinated, but not like a 6-pack that was germinated well enough for me to want to move. And from the 6-day-old ones, there's one little lone 6-pack still in there that had no action, and those were Brussels sprouts. So at the end of day 6, I'm pretty pleased. This is what 2.5 weeks in the seed tray looks like. Let's look at each one here. These are beets of different types. They're certainly ready to be separated out. This is bok choy. I want you to notice the yellow cotyledons. The cotyledon leaves are dying off, which is normal, and the true leaves have started forming. This is all broccoli. Likewise, see how the cotyledons are kind of fading in color and the true leaves are coming through. Spring rapini doesn't look like I have anything yet of any kind at 2.5 weeks. So I don't know if that's a seed issue or normal. We'll just have to leave them in a little longer and find out. Cabbage here, same thing. You see some true leaves there. See some cotyledons as well. This is Collards. Same story. Notice how all these cotyledons look very similar. And then you get down here to dill. Those cotyledons are like little wispy stems. And then here, can I get it to focus? If you can see here, some true leaves coming through. Okay. Nothing yet on Brussels sprouts. I'm tempted to, well, look, I see one little green speck. That could be something, that a little seed I dropped from something else, or it could actually be a Brussels sprout. I'm not sure, but 2.5 weeks seems like a long time. Next, we have the kales of different varieties. Again, mostly true leaves, cotyledons dying off. Then we have a 6-pack of lettuces. Need to get these separated out so that I can put, give them a little more room to grow before I put them outside, given that it is the beginning of February. Mustards here, some cotyledons drying back again, true leaves forming, looking good on the mustards. Spinach. Okay, so this Bloomsdale spinach on the back looks like it has life. The hybrid spinach in the middle here, it all died with, rotted out with the roots, dampening off of the roots. Looks like I have one giant noble. So obviously I'm going to try some more spinach, try to get some spinach going. And our turnips, likewise here, the cotyledons dying off, the true leaves doing well. And I would like to separate these out to, one per cell. So I'll be working on that this week. You can also see that the tray is a bit dry. I removed a cell pack here. I had some rainwater, and I put just a dash of liquid fertilizer in the bottom since I have so many true leaves. I'll put about a 1/2 inch or so in the bottom and leave that for a little while. Let it soak up what it will while I'm working on my other trays. And then if there's any additional liquid, I will siphon that out. The tops also feel a little dry to the touch. And I know spraying the tops is not usually recommended, but I'm still of that. I like to have the top be slightly damp as well, especially when I'm no longer using the humidity dome. Again, I did have the problem with too much moisture on my spinach there, and that probably was the issue. But nonetheless, I am going to spritz the top a little. Likewise, I have filled my sprayer with rainwater. So I'm not going to do a lot, but just a little bit of moisture into the top. Again, the main water will be coming from the bottom, which has about a 1/4 strength liquid fertilizer in it as well for these true leaves. Additionally, I have checked the bottom of each of these 6 packs and do not see any roots coming from the bottom yet. So I think we're in good shape for 2.5 weeks. Okay, let's do an update on our second tray that we started, 72 cell tray. In the first cell here on the right, you'll see this is a 6-pack of various varieties of cilantro. I do not see any cilantro. Now this has only been under light heat and dome, covered with light and heat for 4 days. In the next 6-pack, chicory clearly has already germinated at 4 days. And I don't know if you can tell, but on both of my let's see, this is chamomile. Yeah, on both of my chamomiles, the Roman, can you see the little tiny germination there? And there's actually a little bit of germination there. Can't get the camera to focus on it, but I think you can see it. The next cell, comfrey, I don't see any activity on comfrey yet. Feverfew, no, I don't see any, but look at this lemon mint. Now, I find this interesting. Of the 2 cells, okay, this cell and this cell with lemon mint, the one cell that appears to have less cover, like less vermiculite, is where it germinated the most. So does that mean next time I try this, I should not cover it at all, or does it mean I accidentally sprinkled it all in one cell and forgot about the other cell? I don't know, but I'm going to keep my eye on it. Then I've got 2 sections here with chives. I do not see chives in either of them. And the cumin here, I see one little tiny leaf. This is when I hate to write down, did it germinate at 4 days or not? Because is that all I'm getting? But I try to keep notes as best I can. Marjoram here, I've got 2 cells of marjoram. I was going to say back here I don't see any, but in sweet marjoram I do. I see a little bit of germination there. And up front here is Italian oregano. Also see germination there, so I'm looking forward to that. Thyme on the end, 6-pack. Look at that. Action there, germination there, germination there. And again, they appear to me to be germinating in spots that had less cover. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of research on that before next year. Take good notes. And I'm coming to find out I do better if I put some notes on the seed pack, because I'm going to grab the seed pack, get started, and only remember what's written on the seed pack, probably. All right, let's look. I do not see any germination of sage. I don't see any germination of St. John's wort, and I don't see any germination of stevia. Okay, so we'll leave it at that for now. Tarragon, got a little tiny bit back there. What is this? Toothache plant. Look at that. That is well germinated. I don't feel bad at all about saying that one germinated in 4 days. And stinging nettle, I seem to have just a tiny little bit in the corner over here. So that's where we are with that. The Culantro, which is the warm weather version of cilantro, I don't see any germination there yet. Borage, it looks like it's popped through. I'm a little concerned, let's see, with the one here. See how it kind of has a dead spot in the middle. And so I'm thinking, is that damping off if I had this too wet? But I'll be watching it to make sure that I do better with my borage here. Chervil, I do not see any activity. This obviously is an herb tray. The non-bulbing bronze leaf fennel, I don't see anything. The marshmallow looks like there's a little bit. I would call that germinated, even though it's all in one cell. We'll see. And the burdock, I do not see any germination yet. This has only been 4 days. So black sesame has germinated some. Some are savory. I'm trying to look. There actually is just a tiny, tiny little breakthrough right there. So I'm not going to call that germinated yet. Because I can just barely see anything. I'll wait and check it again tomorrow. And of course, this last cell here, this 6-pack of moringa, I actually sowed a few days later. So let's see, this one is only 2 days. Okay, so this is only 2 days. That's also a bigger seed, grows more like a bush. So it should, I think, take longer to germinate. But I'm not mad about any of this. Happy for the success. And I'm going to bundle these up and put them back under, or cover them and put them back under the, on the heat mat, under the lights with the dome. All right. Here we have a tray that's exactly 2 weeks since seeds went in. Let's see what we've got here. We, in this first cell, have different varieties of cilantro. Looks like 4 of the 6 have sprouted something. In the back here, doing so well, is chicory. Then we have, what does that say? Chicory, oh, chamomile, 2 different chamomiles. The one in the center here is German. This one is Roman, so sprouting through a little. This, hopefully there will be more. The next cell, this is comfrey, doing pretty good in the back here. Looks like 2 or 3 nice comfreys. Feverfew and lemon mint. So weird that lemon mint is only in 1 cell. I have to check that out a little closer. My garlic chives here, looks like I have a grand total of 1 chives. Nothing has happened. And cumin, I'm pretty sure that is not a cumin. Looks like a piece of grass to me. How I got some grass seeds somewhere, I am not sure, but I will pluck that out. Marjoram, if that is marjoram there in the corner, and I think that it is. You see it's very different on each side, so I don't think I dropped any other seeds. And back over here on the chives, I'm wondering if they are like onion seed. They look like onion seed, where the germination decreases significantly the older the seed is. So I'm just going to get me a container of some sort, put all the chives in one, and see if any of that seed is any good. Otherwise, get rid of it and start over. Sweet marjoram, I don't see anything yet. Italian oregano is doing pretty good right there. Looks like pak choy is fabulous. Tatsoi is fabulous. Sage here, broadleaf sage, has sprouted up. I'm happy about that. St. John's wort, looks like I have maybe 1. Might try a little more of that. Stevia, nothing yet, but it's known to have both poor germination, and I believe this is one where I collected my own seed off of my last year's plant as well. So I will be trying more stevia and stick with that. It's not like I'm going to rip it out. I'm not. This says stinging nettle, and the one behind it says toothache plant. You can see that toothache plant is going wild. And the only growth in stinging nettle is right there beside the toothache plant. I'm thinking maybe I accidentally dropped that seed there and don't know if I have any stinging nettle yet. But I will, I'll be working on it and focusing on it, right? Ooh, Culantro, which is the summertime version of cilantro. Looks like I have a couple little sprouts there. Borage, big leaves there, looking good. And Chervil, also an herb. Now this one already has some true leaves. Look at that. So Chervil, only 2 weeks in. Can I get a focus here? See if it'll focus on that. It's not focused very good. Let me back up. Was that better? You see, similar to dill, you've got the wispy little leaves that were the cotyledons, and now the true leaves are already coming through. That's great. And those were some free seeds from my local library, so that's even more encouraging. Burdock here on the front, got a little bit of burdock. And over here, marshmallow plant, got a little bit of marshmallow. And behind that, bronze fennel. But now this is not the bulbing fennel, this is herbal fennel only. And look at that, it's got a true leaf. I don't know if you can see it. Let me back up a little. Looks like in the camera view, it's near the end of the word bronze right there, the true leaf. It'll get bigger and you'll see better later. Black sesame, 2 tall little plants for 2 weeks. Some are savory popping through. This is one from MI, that'd be MI Gardener, and none yet from my Berlin seed pack. So we'll see if that comes through. And on the end, moringa. Now, I thought moringa was going to take longer because it is like a bush and it was a much bigger seed. But here we are. These sprouted much faster than I anticipated and are coming along. So I'll be up potting some of this as well, especially the, like, chicory is crowding itself out already. So I'll be doing individual seeds, as I wasn't planning to do a whole 6-pack on these, which are mostly herbs. And I will also snatch out that piece of grass. I'm checking the bottom to see. This one is still a little damp from the bottom. The moisture humidity dome I'm not keeping on anymore, but I'm not planning to water this one today, as in it's still damp on the bottom. And let me touch. The tops do feel dry, and these are very small and still sprouting some. So I think I will spray the top with the rainwater spray that I have. I'll spray the tops down, and that's about all I'm going to do today. I'll check back on them tomorrow. I changed my mind after checking the bottoms of all of the 6-packs. Some of the faster growing, like this chicory here, already have roots coming out the bottom. So I think that I will. I'm going to make note of the things that rooted out the bottom so fast. The comfrey, likewise, has roots coming out the bottom. You see those there? And this is pak choy and tatsoi. Both have a little bit of roots coming out the bottom. And let's see about this toothache plant, I believe was the other one. Look, it's in a tray that has tarragon and stinging nettle that are barely done anything, and yet look at those roots in 2 weeks. That's pretty amazing. And I'll do better next time. First of all, that's way overseeded. Tiny, tiny, tiny little seeds. If I do it'd be better to have had that same number of seeds in a total 6-pack. And those are the notes that I'll have to take from year to year to get better at this. So for the benefit of the ones that do have the roots out the bottom, I have decided to put a little bit of bottom water with its rainwater, and I'm going to put a little bit of the diluted liquid feeder as well, just for those ones that have roots. It won't hurt the other ones at all either. This is a 1-week-old tray, so let's take a look. It's been the humidity dome was still on all but 2 of these. I took 2 of them out because they sprouted so early. This back row is mostly peppers, and they are from sweet to hottest. And this first 6-pack here, I don't see any obvious germination. There's one questionable, but nothing I would call germination yet. In this second 6-pack, none at the back here. I definitely have one here that is sweet pepper pepperoncini, 2 in there so far. And then on the left, ham jalapeno. That's a jalapeno with no heat. Okay. Cayenne peppers. This whole 6-pack would be cayenne peppers. My mother's husband loves them, so I sowed extra to try to get them some to put at their house as well. Looks like pretty good germination. Again, just a week into this, so there will be more to come. Shishitos, sprouting good back there. Ancho poblanos, doing okay. Other ones, nothing yet. Was that a habanero on the left in that pack there? 1 habanero. Eggplants on the end. Got 1 black beauty back there, 1 pink tongue, maybe 2 pink tongues. So, in any event, 1 weekend, I'm not upset about this. Utah tall celery, cutting celery, has a little bit of sprouting, tiny. Nothing I want to really call or label as germinated yet. I'll keep an eye on that for a few more days. Parsley, I don't see anything going on with the parsley yet. French marigolds, nothing going on with those yet. Thyme, nothing but a little bit of mold. I threw some cinnamon down on that to try to get that under control. And cauliflowers. Cauliflowers here and calendula, these last 2, I actually took out from under the humidity dome a couple of days ago because they looked to me like they were sprouting well enough that I was afraid I would get that dampening off. So those two are much drier than the others that have remained under the humidity dome. And I think I will at least spritz the top of these two. And I'm going to leave the humidity dome off for the day. Maybe put it back on tonight and see, because these seem very, very moist to me. And removing some cells, like these weren't in there, see the bottom is still pretty damp as well. So that's where we are. I'm not mad about that at all for 7 days. Good progress. I just started this tray yesterday. Let's take a look. I've got green globe artichokes, some sorbet violas, Texas bluebonnets, red garnet amaranth, mullein, ground cherries, pineapple and Aunt Molly's, Cucamelon, love the little Cucamelons, Goji berry, and a couple of cells of kohlrabi, lavender, bee balm, lemon mint bee balm, coffee plants, but the seeds had to soak. Likewise on some cotton seeds had to soak. Stevia, known to have poor germination and long germination. Loofah gourd seeds needed to soak. I got a couple of floaters. I think I also needed to score those, seems like the direction said. And Hibiscus Roselle. So everything has already been put in except for the 3 things that were soaking. So I'm going to put the cotton and the coffee seeds in, and I'm going to score the loofah gourd seeds. That means cutting off a little end of it. I'll show you that. Just wanted to say thank you for hanging out with me today, spending time with me in the February garden, and I appreciate all that you do. Give me a like, comment, let me know what you're doing out there in your garden. This is my 5th week of being retired, and this is how I'm trying to enjoy my retirement. I'm several more weeks than that away from chemo. My hair's growing back. I'm very thankful for everything. So I hope you all have a blessed week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.